Okay, what up ladies and gents, it's your favorite Asian robot right here. Hopefully your favorite official content creator for the First Descendant. And today, I'm gonna release you guys my Enzo build, okay? Many of you guys have seen my Enzo completely wreck Death Stalker, and you guys have wondered, how does he have 20,000 shields? Okay, I'm gonna show you everything that you need to make this build. I'm gonna go through it step by step, all right? And I'll explain everything along the way. You also need a modified version of my Enduring Legacy build. And sorry if you hear a little bit of extra sound, I'm sucking on a lozenge, but the Enduring Legacy build I'll also show you in this, so no worries, you're not going to be out of the loop. Let's talk about it. I was about to say let's walk about it, but let's talk about it. Okay. Kaz is enjoying this in the background. All right. First and foremost, what you need to understand is that in order for your Enzo to reach this level, what you are going to need is reliance on one particular module. It's called Overwhelming Shield. This module is unique. Why? Overwhelming Shield works in a very special way. It will fix your maximum hit points at 1 and increase your maximum shield by 26.8% of the maximum hit points that is taken away. All right? However, here's the thing. This buff, as stated in the description, the increased shield can be further increased by the buff. So this is applied before your increases to shield. All right? That's where all this awesomeness really kicks in. So, how do you take full advantage of Overwhelming Shield? All right, as always with my build videos, I'm going to remove my cam, and we're going to start with the Reactor and Components. Reactor-wise, skill cooldown, skill duration up. These are the most important. Without these, you are done for, okay? The actual reactor doesn't matter. Here I've got a frozen reactor, whereas Enzo is non-attribute. He doesn't even use singular skills most of the time, right? So the reactor itself doesn't matter. Only the rolls on the reactor, which is the gold stats down the bottom, that's what matters. Skill cooldown, duration up. This is crucial for him. Okay? For your actual external components, I made sure in this particular build to not use anything from the Death Stalker. Now, the Death Stalker set is actually best because it comes with maximum hit points. But for this particular set, right, the Polar Knight auxiliary power is great. Maximum hit points, maximum hit points. MP recovery out of combat is also fantastic. If you can't get a gold roll on that, that's fine. I just use this because I found one that had a max HP roll. Next, or you can, in fact, even if you want to, you can actually use your default version. Like you can use your default HP auxiliary support. It won't matter. If you really want to use a set item, you can use Polar Knight. But I was testing it out with set items only. All right. But if you have your original, you can actually get up to 22,000 shields just with that. So you can just use a HP auxiliary support and it won't even matter. Now for your sensor, okay, it is actually ideal if you use a Polar Knight sensor. Specifically, you will need one that has MP recovery, or you can also use one of the invader sensors that will drop later on. So if I were to use this, I would be able to not only get even more max shields right there, but my defense would drop a lot. I was actually using the Annihilation sensor before, all right, which is this one. The choice is really yours if you feel that you need the defense. I personally don't, because for Death Stalker, you do not need the defense, but for other things, you might. So I would put the Annihilation sensor in here, but you've got freedom of choice, okay? You've got freedom of choice, and that's the most important thing. If you want to further increase your shields to ridiculous levels, you can just, like I said, shove in something like the Invader sensor right here, and you'll hit 25,000 shields easy, okay? So I'll put the original one back and we'll carry on with that. Now for your memory, you're going to use the Annihilation memory. Why? It comes with max HP. Make sure you have a defense roll on it. The other roll does not really matter, but if you can, either get MP recovery or shield recovery in combat. Both of those are absolutely excellent. In fact, I don't know why I'm using this one when I have a better one here. So I must have gotten confused at some point. My apologies for that. So MP recovery modifier is good, but there's also one that has shield recovery in combat. Let me see if I have an example. Shield recovery in combat, you can roll that. All right, if you have an Annihilation memory with that. Alienation. Lol, me. Okay, last but not least is the Annihilation processor. Okay, this one can actually be substituted out. You only need 2 Annihilation pieces. So one thing you can actually do is, instead of using the Annihilation processor, the Slayer processor actually has a higher max HP value. So one thing which I did was that I can get additional power just by chucking this in. And you'll sort of have a set that looks like this, around about 23,000 shields. There's a lot of components that you can use, but ideally you want to raise your hit points as much as possible. And you want to have max shield and shield recovery modifier. Okay, for your last bit. This covers the reactor and external components. I know this section was longer than it usually is, but I hope this has given you some options that you can use with this build. All right, I tried various things, plug and play this and that, the other. This is what has worked best. Okay? All right. Like I said, you only need a 2-set effect of the Annihilation set to get the extra duration. Okay. Now we move on to guns. For your guns, Greg's is the same build as ever. All right. The only thing that I did here was that, in fact, if you look at the non-glay build, it's pretty much the same build. Just that with Enzo, I was trying half aiming. All right. So although this says Enzo here, the actual build I used on stream was the non-glay version, which I've already showcased to you guys, with electric enhancements so that you can reduce the strength. All right, you can reduce the strength of Death Stalker. Sorry, so you can deal additional damage to Death Stalker. As you know, the electric enhancement really works well with Greg's. Okay, so this is the same non-glay build. For my Enduring Legacy, I have a specialized build. The original build used Inside Focus or Focus Fire or whatever else. It was your choice here. Some people also used Fire Priority. It was an open choice for the player. However, for this particular build, although it says Haley and Enzo, I should actually change that. I realistically only use this for Enzo because it didn't really work well for Haley. I changed it so that, sorry, let me swap these two around so it looks more like the other one. Okay. The difference is that Inside Focus has been changed to Concentrate Support Ammo. That's all. Why did I make this change? Because Enzo's Transcendent mod, which we'll go through shortly, improves his critical hit rate anyway, all right? And he benefits off it for as long as the magazine lasts. The effect of it lasts for the duration of the magazine. Once you reload or change weapons, the buff disappears, all right? So you want to have as large a magazine as possible to avoid reloading and keep his buff on him. So I found that having Concentrate Support Ammo was much more useful. All right, this is the Enduring Legacy build. There you go. Okay. Piercing Light's just an extra. You can fill any other weapon in that slot. Realistically, for my fights, I only use Enduring Legacy. I occasionally pull out Greg's if necessary, but Enzo has literally unlimited ammo, so Enduring Legacy is all you need. Okay. Now, here's the important stuff. Descendant modules. First and foremost, let's talk about the Transcendent module. Supply Firearm Enhancer will change his first skill, causing it to drop a firearm supply enhancer, which will buff him, all right, for the duration of his magazine. It will not last once you reload or once you change weapons. You can test this for yourself. Basically, it will increase his firearm critical hit rate by 29%, and it is an additive bonus. So it's adding to the base firearm critical hit rate, which is beautiful. It also increases his weak point damage by 15%, which is an additional multiplier on top of that. There is no reason not to have this. It is beautiful for dealing damage. Next, Mid-Air Maneuvering, your standard sub-attack slot. Many people have told me, how do you get 15 points on this? Just put a catalyst in it, and then your sub-attack module will go from 10 to plus 15 capacity, therefore giving you 85 module capacity. Okay? Now, first, we talk about survival mods. You need increased HP, Stim Accelerant, and Overwhelming Shield. Both of these coming together will cause your shields to reach ludicrous extents. All right? Then you further buff those shields with increased shield and HP conversion shield. Yes, your HP amount will take a hit, but overall, this is what works. All right? So these are your 5 survival mods. Then, 1 defensive mod. Toxic Antibody is more than enough. I know the recommended resistance was like 10k, but I will be real with you, you don't really need that. If you want to reach 10k, right, then take out Stim Accelerant, put a Rutile slot in, and use Maximize Toxic Resistance. All right, if you want to really reach that kind of crazy resistance level, it will actually cause you to endure a lot of hits from the enemy. Like, you will barely take anything from him, but it's only for Death Stalker. So the choice is yours. I prefer to use Stim Accelerant because this actually works in other situations other than Death Stalker. So there you go. Now, for stuff other than Death Stalker, please change Toxic Antibody to increase defense. All right. and this build will work beautifully. All right, so you can just do that. This is for everything other than Death Stalker. For Death Stalker, just make sure to swap that to Toxic Antibody. All right, and like I said, you can take out Stim Accelerant, put in Maximize Toxic Resist. The choice is yours. All right. Skill Extension is one of the utility mods you'll need. Why? Because it improves the duration of your perfect support, therefore reloading more ammunition, and it also improves the duration of your enhanced combat suit, allowing you to regenerate more shields past the initial shield recovery amount of 25%. So that is why I have that here. Nimble Fingers and MP conversion. In total, you will reduce your total cooldowns by about roughly 60% in exchange for a bit of extra max MP. So this will help you bring down all of your cooldowns down to about 9 seconds for your shield, 27 seconds for your ultimate. This is good enough. I know some people have reduced their cooldowns even further. I chose not to do that because having tested it, this was the best setup. I did not need more than this. If you need more than this, you may need to adjust your playstyle because, like I said, this has worked beautifully. Last but not least, Shot Focus will give you extra firearm attack because you are 100% reliant on your guns for this build. So use Shot Focus and you will basically be able to dish out the same kind of damage you've seen me do on stream. Okay? This is the build. Now, later on, I'm going to go take on Death Stalker and show it to you. All right, this will be the exact same build. Now we are gonna have to do a video cut because now normally I would just go off and do it, but unfortunately I'm filming this just before lunch. So a video cut will happen. You guys will get to see me smoke Death Stalker with this build with total randoms. All right, and I'll catch you all later. Enjoy the build. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, and the people who have supported this channel will be thanked at the very end after the Death Stalker demonstration. Enjoy the build. See you later, and enjoy never dying with 23,000 shields. Okay, what up, ladies and gents? We are back now, and we are going to show off the combat of the Enzo build. Now, just to ensure that there is no hanky-panky, I'm just going to go through it again. Alright, these are all the same components that I showed you guys before. Same reactor here, same weapon, same build. Okay, nothing different. Okay, you can see all that. Same modules. Okay. Toxic Antibody right there. Alright, good. Now off to the Death Stalker with randoms. La 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 la. Okay, here we are. Alright, there's two Enzos. Well, 3 if you include me and a Haley. Okay, Death Stalker comes down. You still want to at least dodge, so, you know, play a little bit of hopscotch if you have to. But as you can see, you're not going to take much damage even if you do take a hit, so I would say don't sweat it too much. Genuinely, the whole point of this is just spam as much gunfire at the enemy and they should die off. Now, take a moment to reload and make sure you do the reload cancel. Alright, you want to be as close to that midline as possible. Okay, one went down. That's completely fine. Somebody's getting him. I already saw that guy moved to get him, so I didn't move because there was no reason. Keep spamming bullets. Death Stalker's weakness is bullets. Okay, if you do get in trouble, just use your inversion reinforcer. Alright, if you have not seen what's in the inversion reinforcer from the Haley video on Death Stalker, you should already know what to do by now. If you don't, I will show it to you again. I did not go through it in this video because it was not necessary, but I will show it at the end if you want to. Okay, it's here. Now we just stand in the circle as per normal. Take advantage of your inversion reinforces ability to like grapple and restore shields. This is crucial. Okay, before you pick up anybody, always make sure your shield is going. All right, there you go. Now we're back in full swing. Take out some of these guys. All right. Here, the only thing you're interested in are the MP orb drops. Those are very crucial to maintaining your MP and total power. Okay, if clocks show up, please clear the clocks. A lot of people don't for some weird reason. It's quite important that you do. Okay, there's more clocks over here. Okay, here we go. Now start blasting again. Da 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 da. Okay, second phase. Somebody dares to do the door knock when I'm recording a video. I see. This is why I should not be in the public room. But it's okay. We'll move after this.
You could have filmed the video somewhere else. You know, you didn't have to stay here.
Yeah, that's because you were here. Keep forgetting this guy's immune. Alright. Alright, it's clean. Now we just have to absolutely destroy this guy, and we're good to go. Again, if you start getting low on shields, just make sure you heal up. And Death Stalker's down. There we go, nice and easy. And that, ladies and gents, is how this Enzo build works. Okay, it is extremely strong. You literally have very little risk of going down. Even if you do, you can survive most things. All right, just be sure that whenever you utilize this, that you take close account of your shields, because your shields do not have a warning, unlike health, that'll say you're low on health. You won't see the screen blinking. No, you'll just be low and then you'll die. So always check your shield amount. That is the most crucial thing. Before we go and before we thank everybody, just a quick look at the inversion reinforcers. This is exactly what we had in the same Haley video. Shield particle augmentation, high density toxic particle membrane, recovery maneuver. That's all you need. That's all you have to have. And that's the build. There you go. All right, ladies and gents, let me thank those top supporters this month. Thank you very much to everybody for watching this video as well. Okay. Here's the list. October's top supporters. Our top tipper is Anonymous, $500. Another top tipper is Another Gary, Rafigiana. Top super chatter includes Siu Yuri, all right, at $100. Top super chatter list includes George Tishon, actually shares that spot with Yuri. D. Russ, Track Hoodie, Lawbreaker, Chanel Name, Sir Tommy Gun, Ted Wu, Craig Ricketts, and South Goblin. Thank you guys so much. And thank you to our top channel membership gifter, is Haza, 10 gifted memberships. Other top channel membership gifters includes Arcane Silver 300, Jonathan Terry. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Y'all have a good time. Enjoy the Enzo build.